what's next, Dr. Zuroff, on your plate after such a long career, illustrious career of accomplishments? What?
Well, so first of all, the trials in Germany are continuing. Germany very dramatically changed its prosecution policy 12 years ago, 14 years ago, when until then, if you wanted to prosecute a Nazi war criminal in the Federal Republic, you had to prove that that person had committed a specific crime against a specific victim and had been motivated by racial hatred. It's impossible to prove, right? So, believe it or not, based on what happened to the plotters of 9/11 who were living in Hamburg, the Germans prosecuted them for accessory to murder. And they were successful. They were convicted and they're punished now. I'm assuming they're still in jail. Two lawyers who worked, there's a national agency to investigate Nazi cases and to vet Nazi cases, to make sure that they have validity and they can be pursued. They went to their boss and said, why don't you do the same thing about death camp guards? Anyone who was there was part of the machinery, the framework of annihilation. So the first case that was brought to justice under this new policy was none other than Ivan Demjanjuk, who was stuck in America because the American government got a deportation order for him, either to Poland, Ukraine, or Germany. Now, in Ukraine, he's a hero, he's a martyr. They claim that he was framed by the Jews, you know? And in Poland, they would have loved to prosecute him because he was a Ukrainian, not a Pole. But there was no evidence. None of the survivors remembered Demjanjuk. So that left Germany, and Germany finally asked for his extradition. He was put on trial in Munich in June, I think, 2019, 2009. And in May of 2011, he was convicted and sentenced to 5 years in prison. But in Germany, if you submit an appeal, you don't go to jail until the appeal has been heard. So he died awaiting his appeal, but he had been in jail for quite some time. Many instances in the United States, in Israel, he served 7.5 years. But at least he didn't die an innocent person. So that's one. That's right. One thing that we're doing is we're helping Thomas Walter, who was the person who helped change the German prosecution policy, and is very super dedicated to the efforts to bring Nazis to justice. I had a long talk with him today. Actually, I'm helping him find survivors for a trial now in Ravensbrück. So I hope any of you who are listening to this podcast and know survivors from Ravensbrück to please contact me in Yerushalayim at 050-721-4156, or anyone who lost a first degree relative in a camp, in this case Ravensbrück, who can, those people, and we're talking about people who lost a parent, right, a spouse, a brother, a sibling, or a child, they can join the prosecution as co-plaintiffs. They can make a statement in court, they can ask questions, and this, I know from our past experience in previous trials, and there have been 8 trials already of these people, that it provides incredible closure for the families of the victims.
Who's the defendant in this case? Who's the defendant
in this case? The name has not been released yet.
Okay.
It's a Croatian Volksdeutsche. In other words, that's a person of German origin who settled in Eastern Europe. He was born in Croatia. And besides that, we continue the fight against Holocaust distortion, primarily in post-communist Eastern Europe. So I have to say quite simply, this book, here it is. I already showed it to you before. Right. Actually, the faces that are on this cover are actually seen much better in the Lithuanian copy.
Okay.
So, and you'll also notice that
Uh-huh.
you might be able to notice that on this cover, only one name of an author appears, which is Ruta Vanagaite.
Got
No
it.
sign of Efraim Zuroff.
Okay.
For fear that any book by Efraim Zuroff will be boycotted.
Well, we urge all our viewers and listeners. This has been fascinating to actually go online, and you don't have to purchase the Lithuanian version. You can purchase the English version, and it really is an important and critical book.
No, it's also available on Kindle. By the way, it's already
Kindle.
come out. Besides Lithuanian and English, it's come out in Hebrew, in Polish,
Oh, okay.
in Russian, in Swedish, in Japanese, and it's supposed to come out in Ukrainian. And I don't know if that'll happen, but it'll also come out very soon in Dutch. And if anyone knows a good German publisher, send me the information. If any of you want to follow me on Twitter, it's
Absolutely.
at capital E, capital Z, UROFF. Or follow me on Facebook, or follow the Wiesenthal Center, which has a wonderful website at wiesenthal.com. And we'll continue. We're not giving up. We can't give up.
Absolutely.
We are out there fighting for the victims, and they need someone to represent them, to fight for them, to make sure that their memory will never be forgotten and will never be desecrated.
Dr. Zuroff, thank you so much. Appreciate your time today. Thank you.
You're welcome.